Welcome to today's deep dive.
Yeah.
It's a really validating one titled The Weight of a Smile. And our mission today is exploring, some psychological notes on escaping the empathy trap so you can stop feeling so exhausted by other people's moods.
Right, because it is just so incredibly exhausting.
It really is. And to start us off, I want to share a quick story.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I texted a friend a fairly long message, right? And hours later, I got a one-word reply.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it just said, okay.
Yeah.
No exclamation point. And crucially, no friendly little tilde at the end of the word, just a flat, okay.
Oh, no, not the missy tilde.
Yes. And I'm telling you, for the next 3 hours, I was this panicked mind reader, just spiraling through everything I might have done to offend them.
Huh. I have to chuckle at that because it is just incredibly relatable. And right off the bat, I want to reassure you and anyone listening right now who does the exact same thing, monitoring tiny shifts in tone. It doesn't mean you're just being dramatic.
Thank you. Because it genuinely feels like constantly being forced to walk on eggshells, just trying not to crack this fragile emotional floor.
Yeah, totally.
But if my nervous system is actually wired to pick up on these subtleties, how does noticing a flat tone automatically mutate into, well, this is all my fault?
Well, it really comes down to how your brain physically processes empathy. You might fit the profile of a highly sensitive person or an HSP.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so in a highly sensitive person, the brain's region for emotional awareness is extremely active. Your nervous system is hyper-aware, essentially treating a missing punctuation mark like a loud physical alarm.
Wow, an actual alarm.
Right. But that hyper-aware state feeds a cognitive trap called personalization. Because your brain rings the alarm so loudly, it just assumes, well, you must be the cause of the fire.
So my brain basically tricks me into starring in a movie where there's this giant, blinding camera spotlight following me around all day, and everyone else is just a harsh critic grading my performance.
Exactly. Psychologists actually call that the spotlight effect. Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, you think the camera's on you, but everyone else is literally the director, actor, and audience of their own entirely separate movie.
That is honestly a relief to hear.
It is. The comforting truth here is that people are fundamentally self-absorbed. When a coworker sighs heavily in a meeting, they aren't mad at you.
Right. They probably just, have a stomachache. Or they're working about making rent or something.
Exactly. The guilt you're carrying is for a movie that is only playing inside your head.
But wait, let me ask you this. Isn't calling everyone self-absorbed kind of an excuse to let passive-aggressive people off the hook?
That's a really great question.
Because if my coworker sighs loudly and I just decide, it isn't my problem, aren't I just avoiding the conflict?
So there is a distinct difference between avoiding conflict and avoiding emotional contagion. What you're experiencing when you try to fix their mood is often a trauma response.
Like a fawn response.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, exactly. Your sympathetic nervous system is trying to appease a perceived threat. To short-circuit that, you really need the not my circus rule.
Oh, not my circus, not my monkeys.
Exactly. But don't just think of it as a cliche. Think of your empathy like a porous sponge, right? You need to turn it into a semi-permeable membrane.
A semi-permeable membrane.
A semi-permeable membrane. Okay, science.
Right. Basically, you let in the data like, okay, my friend is upset, but you block the emotional contagion, the part that says, I must fix it. You drop the eggshells because adult communication is their responsibility.
That makes total sense. It's separating the observation from the obligation. But when your body is in that fawn response, how do you actually maintain a boundary?
Right, because intellectually knowing it is completely different from calming your racing heart in the moment.
Yeah, my heart is still pounding over the text message.
Well, a psychological boundary isn't a wall you build between you and them. It's actually a cognitive shift in your internal focus.
What do you mean by an internal focus shift? So when the panic hits, your brain defaults to asking, what did I do wrong? You enforce the boundary by overriding that default and instead asking yourself, what do I need right now?
Wow. What do I need right now? That is a huge shift.
Right. You pull the spotlight back to your own nervous system, and that forces your brain out of the fawn response and into self-regulation.
Shifting from managing their emotional weather to regulating your own. I love that. It's a complete rewiring of the situation that reminds you, hey, you are not responsible for everyone else's happiness.
Exactly. You finally get to step out of the empathy trap.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, to wrap this deep dive up, I want to leave you, our listener, with a thought to mull over today. If everyone around you is genuinely too self-absorbed to scrutinize your tiny social missteps, what bold, authentic things could you do today knowing the spotlight isn't actually on you?
Go send that text.
Yes, and don't even worry about the tilt.